We're excited to invite you to Room's Christmas Open House, November 6th through the 8th. Visit our in-store gift shop featuring Peter's Pottery. Enjoy refreshments, door prizes, discounts, and so much more. We can't wait to see you.
Give the gift of a delicious burger from Bulldog Burger, a soup and sandwich from Sweet Pepper's Deli, appetizers and cocktails from The Grill, or even a wood-fired steak from Harvey's. Choice is the perfect gift. An all-in-one gift card from Eat With Us.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Another calm and cool night as we head into our Tuesday evening. Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynard. We have an action-packed show once again, but hey, it's always action-packed here at the 10 o'clock broadcast. Let's go ahead and get into those headlines here from the Room to Room Weather Center. What we're tracking behind the scenes. Well, of course, where are we headed this Thursday, our Thursday night game of the week? We'll take a look at that in just a second, but I know this has been a tight battle, but we do have a winner. Finally, after a heated head-to-head battle between the three matches. Return Friday. Just how much are we talking? What's the magnitude? We'll break that down here in just a moment. Before we continue, let's go ahead and find out where we're headed to this Thursday night. And let's bring it back over here. Bear with me one second. Got to get the mouse. All right, you ready? Drum roll, please. All right, here is where we are headed for our Mississippi Live Weather Game of the Week. As you can see on top, I know it says we voted for that. That's just one of the things as we were cycling through, clicking on stuff. But that is the winner, whether it was our vote or not. Starkville versus Oxford at 43% coming out on top. And we will be headed there for the Little Egg Bowl in Oxford as the Oxford Chargers take on the Starkville Yellow Jackets. New Hope, Caledonia, you guys put up a good fight. Honestly, you had the lead for a few moments there. If we look at the votes right here, I think this is definitely something to track. 1,651 votes for New Hope, Caledonia compared to 2,100 votes. Let me take mine off of that. There we go. Okay, come on, thing. 2,101. So I guess it doesn't even matter. And then Grenada, Saltillo, another good effort, 1,224. So by about 500 votes, Starkville versus Oxford is our winner. And we'll be headed there this Thursday night to see the matchup and see some pretty good football at that. Two ranked teams. This is going to be a very heated battle, and I know we're excited to get some highlights together, see our band of the week, see our cheer squad of the week. Hopefully see the weather computer turn back on. There we go. So go ahead and send in those submissions. We'll get that post up tomorrow morning, but this is when the heated matchup starts. And we have a lesser time frame to do it as we'll get those posts Wednesday morning and continue into our Thursday afternoon before we have that final tally at 6 o'clock on our Thursday night broadcast. So exciting times. Congratulations to the winner, and thank you for everyone who participated. Nearly 5,000 votes on this matchup. It's always just an exciting time when you guys get to decide where we are headed. Okay. Back to the forecast. What are we tracking? Well, the first 12, cool conditions for sure, but dry at that. 11 p.m., 50 degrees. Towards tomorrow morning, we're back into the low to mid 40s across the region, still with those clear conditions. I'm not expecting any of that patchy fog. A lot of that has just dissipated away, and we're left with those dry conditions for sure, and making way for sunny skies as well. That sunshine warming us up by the afternoon. By 11, we're already talking 70 degrees in some spots. So when we say above average, we mean it. Let's go ahead and get into a few cameras around the region. This will look at 8 to 10, 50 degrees right now, but that dew point currently at 50 as well. This is a result of that southerly wind kicking in just a bit more, about 3, 4, 5 miles an hour. Not exactly overly breezy, but enough to get in some of that moisture here to North Mississippi and Oxford. I mean, we had a feeling you guys were going to come out on top. 20 minutes ago, I checked and you guys were up. So went ahead and put in this camera, and glad I did, because this is the road we'll be headed on right across Highway 6 into Lafayette County to see the Chargers take on the Yellow Jackets. So again, game of the week. Excited for it. Mississippi Live Weather Radar, dry once again as we get into our Tuesday night, but heading into that extended forecast, that pattern does shift. By Friday, we're talking more rain chances, but definitely not the case for tonight, and definitely not the case for tomorrow either. If we expand things out, you can definitely get a visual on this. As you can see, a lot of that moisture primarily up there towards our north, and you can almost see the ridging pattern that's taking place. As you can see this dome right over the top of us. I'm going to go ahead and draw this out. Let me get a yellow marker, because I feel like that's the driest looking color. But there's that little ridge, that dome over the top of us, and that trough currently out in the Atlantic and the other one out in the Pacific. This is going to be our action moving into our Friday. And as we get into that, this system going to start to progress. Doesn't want me to draw. Probably a good thing. Probably knows I'm not exactly an artist. Okay, we're just not going to draw today. That system moving east into North Mississippi, that's giving us our next best threat for some rain chances. As you can see, no cloud cover expected whenever we zoom this out, and of course we have to do this with our late night broadcasts. This is going to be some of those higher end clouds that are moving into the region. If we put a time lapse on this, moving over the last 3 hours, you can get a visual on how this is primarily staying up there towards the north, maybe sinking just a bit there into northern Arkansas and western Tennessee, but we'll be lucky if we get a cloud in the sky. But honestly, I have us staying blue skies and sunny skies all day long for our Wednesday, despite there being a little bit of cloud cover towards our north. Surface analysis right here showing the exact same thing we've been talking about. This dome right over the top of us, high pressure dominating our forecast, continues to be the case, but you do see where that high pressure is positioned, and that's going to, let's see if it'll let me draw now. That's going to have this clockwise circulation to it. So there we're getting a visual on that. And of course, this does have a tie with our forecast. It's bringing in some of this Gulf moisture because of how dominant that ridging pattern is. So southerly winds back into the forecast, and that's bringing in a lot of this Gulf moisture right here into North Mississippi. So that's why some of our dew points a bit higher than where things have been, but it's also a little bit warmer down there in the Gulf. And so that's going to be, of course, resulting in that here in North Mississippi with some of that warming trend moving forward. Now, if we look at that on the expanded side and go ahead and get this going into that extended futurecast, you can see that that frontal system will move closer to North Mississippi, but no rainfalls associated with it. Going to have that visual right there. You can see inching closer and closer, maybe bringing a few clouds here to the area. Not exactly sold on any rain chances. We're staying dry for our Wednesday, even for that Wednesday morning commute, so don't need to worry about having the rain jacket on standby. If anything, have a jacket to stay warm for that morning commute. By the afternoon, probably won't even need that. That's how warm temperatures will be as we get into our Wednesday afternoon. And as you can see, some thin clouds trying to move into the region, but not exactly sold on that cloud cover. I have us blue skies all day long. Maybe the occasional cloud, but that's really it. 43 for the start of the day, warming up into the mid 70s by the afternoon. So feeling a little bit more like early fall rather than late fall. So no complaints about that. And hopefully you can get outside and enjoy this beautiful forecast once again, because this is going to be one of the good ones for sure when we look back on 2025. Now, as we take a look here in the next 60 seconds, what are we going to be discussing? Well, extended look county by county on those futurecasts and what to expect rainfall wise for Friday. We're also talking a significant cool down moving into early parts of next week. We'll have the latest look at those temperatures coming up here in the Room to Room Weather Center right here on Mississippi Live Weather at 10 in the next 60.
Being a parent, especially for the first time, with that comes a lot of self-doubt. As a dad, I just try to lead by example. When you're trying to be the best person that you can be, your kids see that and then they emulate that.
A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's scary that it can be put into anything. We can't even see it or notice it.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynard.
Welcome back into the 10 o'clock broadcast. I am reading through the comments and I see that we are having some freezing up issues. Curious to see behind the scenes if things have gotten better because it looks smooth on our end. I'm curious if it's getting better. So go ahead and let us know down in the chat. I want to wait and see what you guys are saying before we keep going. I see Ricky, Pat telling us the same thing, Brenda. So yeah, this is a pretty uniform distribution. If we can't get it fixed, well, we'll definitely get it fixed. We'll find a way to do it, right? Let's see what's happening. Yeah, usually it's just technology. We might have to refresh the browser or something like that to get this back up and running. But yeah, sometimes technology just doesn't want to cooperate and happens from time to time for sure. That's what happens when you have a all streaming platform, right? Technology has to abide. Okay, well, we will continue. I know. Okay, looks better. Looks good. Perfect. Okay, things are looking much better. All right, let's go ahead and get into the broadcast. Tupelo, great look outside with those clear conditions. Keep me updated in chat if things do change, and then we'll address it once again. But appreciate everyone letting us know, and that's the perks of having a chat because we can work together to get these problems figured out. 54 degrees in Tupelo right now. Dew point's currently at about 46, so things are definitely cooling off, but that moisture slowly but surely returning back to the forecast with that southerly wind. Fulton, a great look in Itawamba County as folks are still out on those roadways on Highway 25. And you're getting a good look at I-22 as well there in the distance. That's going to be where things are the most busy, honestly. But folks out there enjoying some cooler temperatures, things cooling off as we get into those overnight hours. I walked out the door here in Tupelo, 54 degrees, and was thinking, you know what? It's pretty cold. So crank the heat once again in the car. Recommend you do the same if you have to do any of those late night traveling plans. 54 degrees in Houston, 52 Kosciuszko, and 54 Senatobia. You do see some of those blues hinting just a bit of that cooler air, probably in the 40s in some spots for a lot of locations. But let's compare this. We've been talking about a gradual warming trend, and we are still seeing the effects of that. Temperature change over the last 24 hours, nearly a double-digit difference from where things sat 24 hours ago to now. So showing you things are definitely warming up, and a large part of that is due to that shift in those winds, bringing up some of that southerly moisture, and that's going to, of course, warm things up as well. That down there in the coast, down there in the Gulf, definitely a little bit warmer than where things sit here in North Mississippi. So Mississippi Live Weather Radar, luckily with that Gulf moisture returning, not tracking any rain chances. So we're staying dry once again overnight, and that'll continue to be the case as we get into that morning commute. You can see a large part of that moisture actually up around the Minneapolis area, well north of North Mississippi, and that's where the action will remain before our next system over there towards Seattle and Portland moves closer to our area moving into the latter part of the week. So day planner overnight, dry conditions, you could guess, 48 degrees by midnight, and of course we are dropping to 43 for our morning commute, still with those clear conditions in place. All right, let's go ahead and get into Futurecast, and as you can see right here, a little bit of those breezy conditions coming in from the Gulf and cycling in some of that moisture. So Wednesday morning, still enjoying those drier skies, those clear skies, but it will feel slightly different, and slightly different meaning the warmer fashion, because temperatures heading out the door, we're talking mid-40s. This morning we were talking low 40s. Yesterday morning, we were talking low 30s, so things have definitely changed, and that warming trend will continue to gradually take place as we get into that extended forecast as well. Now, looking at that school forecast, as you can see, pick up at the bus stop, 45 degrees, enough to have that jacket on standby, and of course, keep those kids warm as well. But 74 by drop-off, definitely going to be warm enough to where I think we can get away with the t-shirt for our afternoon plans. But of course, we got to get through the cold weather before we can enjoy the warm weather. That's why you dress for both forecasts. Welcome to Mississippi. Futurecast for your Wednesday morning stays with those drier conditions. Winds still coming out of the south, as you can see right here, so definitely bringing back that moisture just a bit. But let's go ahead and expand things out. And the big thing that we're going to notice is that cold front moving closer to North Mississippi as we get into our Wednesday afternoon, primarily mid to late afternoon, before fully clearing North Mississippi beyond that. What is this front bringing exactly? Well, we're staying dry for sure, so no rainfall associated with it. The result of that just-in-time moisture not being just in time, so no rainfall expected within that cold front, but this will start to shift winds just a bit. As you take a look right here, you're getting that southwesterly flow into North Mississippi, but then up there on the north side of the front, we're talking about northerly to almost northwesterly flow. That's that drier air moving in place. So yes, moisture is returning for now, but that front going to shift things just a bit, at least for a few moments. Not exactly for a long period of time, because that moisture will replenish by Friday. But high temperatures Wednesday, no cold front affecting those temperatures. We're talking low to mid 70s across the region for those Wednesday afternoon plans, with 76 in Bruce, 72 Corinth, 71 in Boonville, and 76 down around Macon. It's going to be toasty. As you can see, our normal is usually 68 degrees. So the fact that we didn't have a single upper 60 on there can tell you a little bit about that trend for sure. So you see the front right over the top of us, and that wind starting to shift ever so slowly, but ever so surely as well. So northerly winds back into the forecast as we get into our Thursday morning. That might bring in a little bit of some cooler air there for the start of our Thursday, but not going to last forever. You are starting to see a little bit of that change already take place. Cloud cover building in a little bit more towards southern Mississippi and trending a little bit more into our northernmost counties, but that's not bringing any rainfall with it. But this is telling me that a little bit of that moisture is replenishing compared to what we were seeing on earlier model runs. So maybe some more partly cloudy skies rather than mostly sunny skies for our Thursday plans. Not going to complain about that, but definitely seeing a little bit of a change in that pattern. Southerly winds already back into the forecast as we get into our Thursday afternoon. And yeah, setting the scene for Friday for sure as that moisture is replenished. And then we'll be dealing with some showers and storms getting into our Friday as well. Right on time for those football games, right? So high temperatures Thursday before things really cool off next week. We need to enjoy these warm temperatures while they're here. 73 in Oxford for that Thursday night game, 74 Houston, 76 Columbus, and we are getting 74 Cleveland, Clarksdale, and 76 towards Belzona and Greenville. So let's go ahead and look at those low temperatures like I've been talking about, and you can definitely see how things are trending way cooler. So they're going to warm up over the next couple of days, Friday, Saturday being the highest outputs. That's because of that moisture in the forecast. But Sunday already starting to drop, and then you just see a tumble from there. 50 down to 33 Monday, down to non-existent by Tuesday. No, there is a number, but it couldn't even be read on the graph. That's how much of a drop we're talking about. As you take a look right there, that warming trend will remain in place with the high temperatures in the mid-70s. Friday, Saturday, that chance of showers and rainfall still about 30% Friday, 20% Saturday, and those chances all clearing out by Sunday. Then the cooling trend takes place. 75 falling back to 60. 50 degrees for those morning temperatures, falling back to 33 and continuing to cool off. And we're talking 29 by Tuesday. Potential for frost warnings in place for Tuesday morning, even for some places Monday morning. So hope you have those scrapers ready, or hope you're ready to be a good husband and turn those wives' cars on a little bit early to surprise them so they're warm on their morning commute. So highly recommend that, and you will get the Husband of the Year award for sure. But this has been just an exciting time in regards to the forecast we have right now. Very unseasonable in the best way possible, because mid-70s, what is the stereotype I always hear? You want it to be sunny in 75. Well, guys, we're not far away from that. We're going to be sunny in 74 Wednesday, sunny in 73 for Thursday, and then rainy in 75 for Friday. Still nothing to complain about. We do need rainfall, and we're going to soak up as much warm weather as we get. But moving into next week, layers and layers and layers will be very important to stay safe with those cold temperatures. So make sure to have those on standby. I know it was cold earlier this week. We're talking even colder than that as we get to the early part of next week. So go ahead and download that Mississippi Live Weather app. It keeps you informed on the very latest information for what to expect here in North Mississippi. It helps me and my family, our first layer of protection, and will help you as well. So highly recommend that, especially since it's free. That's all you need to know as well. It's a free, great app. So what more reason do you need to download the Mississippi Live Weather app today? We thank everyone who supported us on this journey so far. And of course, they'll tell you that on the app, you can tune into the live shows at 6:37 and 7:30, happening on your Wednesday morning with meteorologist Maggie McCauley, and at 5, 6, and 10 for your evening broadcast happening Wednesday afternoon and evening. So excited to see you guys there. And of course, we hope that you're able to join us there for what to expect for the work week ahead. We'll see you back tomorrow morning, bright and early. Go ahead and have a great night until then.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
You wonder how they're going to experience the real world in real safety, where all kids are welcome and everyone has a path forward to new skills, advancement, leadership, something they will carry with them the rest of their lives.
Okay, hang on. Okay, I'm going to bring it back here because I realize the results were choppy and some folks are not exactly, they didn't hear the news of where we are headed for our Mississippi Live Weather Game of the Week. So I'm going to pull it back up here real quick. Hopefully some folks are still with us on the live stream. This is where we are headed for our Mississippi Live Weather Game of the Week. It is going to be on Thursday night, and the winner, it has not been updated since the start of the 10, so these are still the same numbers. Starkville versus Oxford coming out on top at 42%. Of course, New Hope, Caledonia putting up a good fight with 34%, and Grenada versus Saltillo, 24%. Whenever we look at those numbers specifically, I mean, it was a helpful hand getting this done. I know it says me at the top. We clicked it to see the poll results. I don't know why it's showing up at the top, but we're, of course, unbiased here at Mississippi Live Weather. 2,100 votes there for Starkville versus Oxford. New Hope, Caledonia, 1,652. So nearly, 450 vote difference on that. That's a very close battle. And 1,224 for Grenada versus Saltillo. Now, I will say Starkville versus Oxford might be the best matchup because it is two ranked teams in the state, and we are excited to be a part of that and excited to see both teams take off. Starkville, of course, the Yellow Jackets traveling into Oxford to take on the Chargers, and it is going to be a great matchup and kind of setting the scene as they get into playoffs there in 7A. So excited to be out there. It is going to be on Thursday night, so escaping those rain chances, and also get to see a great football game out there on the field. So highlights coming Thursday night, as well as Band of the Week, Spirit Squad of the Week, and we are going to have the latest on that broadcast, or on the forecast for Friday as well. So stay tuned, excited to have that and take part in it, and of course I hope that you guys are will join us there as well. So this basically, I wanted to cut in and say this real quick, so I hope you guys are excited about those results. We are excited, and we cannot wait to get out there to Oxford to be with you guys. So expect to see us there. Come say hey and come take a selfie with us, and we'll have a great time. Thank you so much for joining us at the 10 o'clock broadcast. I'll wrap it up here, but you guys have a fantastic night moving forward.